Fairfield High School, located in Iowa, United States, is an ordinary school with a less than impressive academic rating. The students' performance has not been outstanding over the years. Despite not being widely recognized for academic achievements, the school gained notoriety for a disturbing incident. On November 3, 2021, the lifeless body of Nohema Graber, a 66-year-old Spanish teacher at the school, was discovered under a tarp in Chautauqua Park, Iowa. The investigators were initially baffled by the heinous nature of the crime. However, as they delved deeper, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. But the question is, who could be responsible for this terrible crime, and what might have driven someone to commit such a horrific act? To get answers to this, stick with us to the end of this video as we unravel the incident that led to the death of 66-year-old Nohema Graber. Fairfield, Iowa, known for its serene lifestyle, combines a quaint small-town atmosphere with modern comforts. This town has gained recognition as a center for mindfulness practices and holistic well-being. The community's focus on health and its picturesque setting makes it an appealing choice for individuals seeking a retreat from urban complexities, aiming to embrace a more harmonious way of life. Despite its reputation as a meditation hub, Fairfield is not immune to disturbing crimes. The case of Nohema Graber is a stark reminder of this reality, showing that even peaceful towns like this have their share of unsettling incidents. Nohema Castillo's journey began in Jola, Veracruz, Mexico, where she was born on November 10, 1954, to parents Noe Castillo Agar and Maria Concepcion Castillo. After her school years, Nohema embarked on a 17-year career as a flight attendant with Mexican de Avion. Alongside this, she pursued studies to become a commercial airline pilot, breaking barriers as one of Mexico's first women trained to operate passenger jets. Nohema married Paul Graber on October 4, 1986, in Jola, Veracruz, Mexico, and changed her surname to Graber. In 1992, Nohema and Paul moved to Fairfield, where they raised their 3 children, Christian Graber, Jared Graber, and Nohema Marie Graber. She became an active participant in St. Mary Catholic Church and was a regular at the daily Mass. As their children matured, Nohema made the bold choice in her 50s to pursue a degree in English and earned a teaching certificate from Iowa Wesleyan University in nearby Mount Pleasant. Her inaugural position as a Spanish teacher was at Ottumwa High School, where she dedicated herself until 2012. Subsequently, she took on the role of a Spanish teacher at Fairfield High School. Nohema's life revolved around her students, family, faith, and community involvement. Her routine involved teaching, serving her parish, reading, and taking walks in Chautauqua Park. Despite her disciplined and compassionate life, tragedy awaited her as a teacher, leading her down an unforeseen path in the halls of Fairfield High School. By late 2021, another season of exams had arrived. Nohema, the dedicated Spanish teacher, gave her all, hopeful that her students would achieve stellar grades. However, like any classroom, hers had a mix of triumphs and challenges. Some students excelled while others fell short. As usual, those who received less favorable grades expressed their frustrations, perhaps placing blame on their teacher, a typical tale you might think. However, this year held a chilling departure from the norm. Amidst the routine, one student took their disappointment to a dangerous extreme. On November 2, 2021, a day when the consequences of a few unfortunate grades unfolded, a student from Nohema's class sought a meeting with her to address his academic struggles. The content of their conversation remained undisclosed, but following their interaction at around 4 p.m., Nohema took her van to Chautauqua Park, where she often enjoyed post-school walks. After this, Nohema's van exited the park approximately 42 minutes after her arrival, with 2 males in the front seats. However, Nohema was notably absent from the vehicle. Later, her car was found at the end of a quiet country road near Fairfield, but Nohema was nowhere to be found. Concerned for her well-being, her family filed a missing persons report. The next day, on November 3, 2021, soon after, on that very same day, she was found. Yet the circumstances of her discovery were far from what her husband, Paul Graber, had anticipated. Nohema's lifeless body was uncovered at Chautauqua Park. Her remains were hidden under a blanket, wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. Forensic examination later revealed that she'd suffered a fatal beating inflicted by a baseball bat to the head. The pursuit of the perpetrator began immediately, and within a mere 2 days, on November 5, 2021, law enforcement successfully apprehended 2 suspects, 16-year-old Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale. Both Miller and Goodale were enrolled as students at Fairfield High School, and notably, they had been in the class led by Nohema Graber. Interestingly, it was Miller who had engaged in a discussion with Nohema regarding his unsatisfactory grades at school on November 2, 2021. So, what led to the swift arrests of these 2 students? The breakthrough came from Snapchat messages that directly tied them to Nohema's murder. A confidential witness shared images of a Snapchat conversation, uncovering Goodale's admissions of being involved with another person and causing Nohema's death. The witness highlighted Goodale's statements that not only incriminated himself, but also specifically mentioned Miller by name. The search warrant for the Snapchat messages reportedly shed light on the pair's actions. Allegedly, they had surveilled Nohema, and the messages provided additional insights into the details of how they executed the crime, disposed of her body, and attempted to cover up evidence linked to the case. Another witness also informed the police that they had seen a wheelbarrow being pushed along the street shortly before midnight on the night of the murder. During an interview with Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation agents, Miller purportedly confessed to taking the wheelbarrow that was used to conceal Nohema's body from his own residence. Adding to the investigation, the police uncovered a crucial piece of information. A call had originated from Goodale's phone to a different witness, who then proceeded to pick up both Goodale and Miller from the rural road where Nohema's car had been found. This aligned with one of the witnesses' accounts of seeing 2 males driving away with Nohema's car from the park. All the elements fell neatly into place, indicating that Miller and Goodale were the 2 individuals at the center of this unfolding story. In a police interview, Miller expressed his frustrations with Nohema's teaching methods and how his grades in her Spanish class were affecting his GPA. However, Miller initially denied any involvement in Nohema's disappearance. Still, court documents indicate he later altered his statement. He admitted to having knowledge of the events, but claimed he didn't take part in the crime. According to his account, a roving group of masked kids were the actual perpetrators who allegedly coerced him into using his wheelbarrow to move her body and drive her van away from the park. During the phase of court hearings in December 2022, Miller's lawyer, Christine Branstad, argued that the search warrants were flawed because they didn't prove the informant's reliability. However, with strong evidence on hand, Miller's trial was scheduled for March 20, 2023, in Council Bluffs, while Goodale's trial was set for October 5, 2023, in Davenport. There was solid evidence, including information obtained from Miller's home, statements he made to the police as a 16-year-old, data from his cell phone, and a record of his conversations on his Snapchat account. As a result, it seemed almost certain that Miller would not be able to avoid facing the consequences of his actions. The final decision by the court was made on April 18, 2023, when both the accused pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and the death of Nohema Graber. On July 6, 2023, Miller was sentenced to life in prison, eligible for parole after 35 years. In Iowa, a first-degree murder conviction carries a life imprisonment penalty. However, Iowa Supreme Court rulings mandate that juveniles convicted of even the most serious offenses be granted a chance for parole. Addressing Miller, the judge acknowledged that his heinous actions resulted in the loss of Nohema Graber's life, creating an irreplaceable void for her family. The judge found that Miller's intent and actions were sinister and evil, resulting in the intentional loss of human life in a brutal fashion. There's no excuse, and there is not a systemic societal problem that explains or justifies his actions. The judge added that a sentence of life imprisonment without parole might have been considered if permissible under state law. Following the sentencing, Miller expressed his apologies to both Nohema Graber's family and his own family, who were present in the courtroom. He accepted responsibility for his role in the murder and apologized for the distress and devastation caused to the Graber family. Miller also apologized to the community acknowledging the ripple effect of his actions. He specifically apologized to Nohema Graber's church, recognizing her active role there. Miller expressed love for his family and deep remorse for how his actions affected them, pledging to get back out there as soon as possible to make up for the lost time. Nohema's brother-in-law, Tom Graber, stood by her husband Paul's side as he succumbed to metastatic cancer and passed away. However, Tom remained unconvinced by the apology. He expressed that it was the first time he had ever heard any type of attempted apology from Mr. Miller, but he didn't believe it. According to Tom, Miller showed no sign of remorse whatsoever. Conversely, before finalizing his plea agreement with prosecutors, Goodale had intended to testify against Miller during his trial. According to Goodale's account to authorities, Miller was the one who initially struck Nohema with a bat, while he acted as a lookout. Goodale stated that he used the bat to strike her again after the initial blow failed to kill her. Goodale's sentencing was scheduled for August 23, 2023. Prosecutors planned to pursue a sentence of 25 years to life for Goodale. Additionally, both Miller and Goodale were mandated to pay $150,000 in restitution to the Graber family. Despite the impending prison terms for the perpetrators and the justice finally attained by the Graber family, the haunting aftermath of this heinous act lingers. Fairfield Police Officer Julie Cannella addressed the community's ordeal during the hearing, stating, "We had students that were scared to death to attend class. We had teachers who didn't want to teach because of concerns for their own safety. I don't think that our community will ever be the same again. I think it's devastated us." And there you have it, guys. If you want more videos like this, be sure to hit that like button and share this video with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more amazing content. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time.